Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Perspective. I am joined by our school board president, Miguel Farias. Welcome, Mr. Farias.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much, very much. I'm so excited. You are new superintendent, and I would just like to take this opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us a little bit about your experience, and how you came up in the ranks, quite frankly.
Well, I can tell you that I've been working with the Edinburg School District for over 30 years, so I did not, I have experienced many different experiences as a teacher, as an assistant principal, as a head varsity coach, athletic coach. I've been an assistant superintendent. I was a principal at Edinburg North for 10 years. I've been an assistant superintendent for 12 years, over 12 years. So I've experienced the gamut of the experiences for a teacher.
So your 30 years, have they been all here in Edinburg?
All of them have been with the Edinburg School District.
Wow.
I've had a long career here in Edinburg. Edinburgh has been good to me.
Very good.
The school district, very good to me.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. You know, it's you have a wealth of knowledge and experience that you're bringing to your position, and I'm looking forward to see what you have coming up. So, would you mind sharing with us kind of what?
I don't mind, sir, but I'd like to say this.
Yes.
With the experiences that I've had as a teacher, as a coach, as an assistant principal, as a principal of a high school, as an assistant superintendent that is very close to 4 different superintendents, actually 3. I worked with J.L. Salinas as the first superintendent I worked with Gilbert Garza for 3 years, with Dr. Rene Gutierrez for 10, and then Gilbert Garza again. So I consider Gilbert Garza the 4th
Yes, sir.
superintendent. I feel that my toolbox is full of tools.
Good.
And I've experienced, in our business of schooling, I've experienced many different things when it comes to instruction, to dealing with parents, to instructional programs as a principal, to grievances, to finances, to district level, administrative direction. I have a lot of experiences to offer the district. I feel that is something that I am prepared to do and take the district forward to a level that we haven't seen before. The other thing I'd like to tell you is that in Edinburg, for the last 40 years, the superintendents that have preceded me came from the elementary ranks, principalships from the elementary levels.
Okay.
I am principals have been trained at the high school, so I come in with a different perspective. I have seen the finished product of pre-K through 5, 6 through 8, 9 to 12. I've seen the finished product, and I've seen rigor at the very highest levels. And I think that perspective enables me to apply what I have learned to take the district into another level of excellence. Edinburg School District is generally known as a good school district with very good academic programs. But I feel that with the knowledge that I have, with what I've seen at the high school, with what I've seen here at Central Administration, I feel that we can go to another level of quality.
Very good. We can always get better. We lie to ourselves that we've arrived and that's as high as we can go, but I like it that you're hungry and you want to excel. You want to get to that next level, and that's exciting. That's exciting for Edinburg. That's exciting for our community, because it's exciting for our district. So I'm glad you got that vigor and that goal, and this is good. This is really good. This is exciting times.
And you're right. If we get to a point where personally we feel that we have no room for improvement, I feel that that's the time when we need to say, I'm done with this business, I need to move on.
Yes, sir.
And I feel the same way with our school district. I think our teachers and our principals, we as an organization, we have to constantly be striving to get better.
Very
Once
good.
we reach that point that we think we cannot get better, I think it's time to move on.
Real good. Dr. Salinas, could you share with us your top 10 priorities?
The number one priority for me
Yes, sir.
today is to ensure that the staff that we have working on campus, to ensure that the students that are on campus, to ensure that when the students come back on campus, that they are safe. We're in the beginning of the end of the pandemic, in
Yes,
my
sir.
opinion, where the disease appears to be ebbing, to be slowing down. The vaccines are going up.
Yes, sir.
I see better days. But nonetheless, we are in a pandemic. Priority for number one is to ensure that our staff and our students are safe on campus.
So, Dr. Salinas, how are we going to go ahead and make sure that you fulfill your commitment in your first priority?
I am going to create a COVID-19 director position. See, we've been dealing with this COVID-19 for almost a year now. And I've been very much involved with that. As we've done it up to this point, there are different people that are, different staffers that are involved with ensuring that our campuses are safe. I do some of that. Nurse Davila does some of that. Robert Science does some of that. Dr. Morrison does some of that. There's multiple people that get involved with the safety and security of our staff when it comes to COVID. So I feel that we need to have somebody, one person that handles all aspects of COVID-19 responsible.
So, this one person, are they going to have any other responsibilities or duties, or is it just handling COVID-19?
It'll be COVID-19, communicating with the state health services, communicating with the county health services, vaccinating. As you know, we're now vaccinating staff
Yes, sir.
and community.
Okay.
He'll be coordinating that with the county and with DHR and with the city. Whoever is our partners with the vaccination program, that person is going to be in charge of that, working with the nursing department, communicating with campuses, ordering protective equipment, keeping track of the contact tracing. There's many things to do with COVID-19, as you know.
So, so in a sense, a COVID-19 czar, making sure that they take care of everything having to do with COVID-19 instead of parceling out like the way we were doing it before. That way, one person is going to be held responsible to make sure all those things are taken care of.
We feel that that is more efficient.
Yes.
And you're correct with that. One person handling everything COVID-19, along with the nursing staff,
Yes.
rather than having 10 or 12 people having their say on it. One person in charge to make sure that all things that need to happen to keep our campuses safe are happening.
Good, good, good. So, what's your second?
The second priority for us, sir, is having to do with COVID-19
Okay.
still. I want to create a COVID-19 instructional task force. And the purpose of this task force is, before we had COVID-19, the teachers, the principals, the people that are in our business used to say that from the end of school, May, through the summer months, September, that students experience a summer slide.
Yep.
All students, some more a bigger slide than others to a certain degree. What they mean by that is that they have forgotten some materials.
Okay.
And when school starts, typically at the high school, at the middle school, at the elementary, usually the first 2 to 3 weeks, maybe more, is spent by the staff reviewing some of the materials that the students should have learned in the previous grade. That's due to the summer slide.
Yes, sir.
The students have been quarantined at home for almost a year.
Well, since mid-March.
Mid-March. We're approaching a year
Yes,
that
sir.
the students have been at home.
Yes, sir.
They've been communicating with the teachers via computers. Some that have high-speed internet. Some have been communicating asynchronously, meaning papers, because internet services are just not of the nature, the quality that they can consistently communicate with teachers. So some of those students are communicating via paper and pencil packets. Without a doubt, all research indicates that the students will experience a significant slide.
You know, Dr. Salinas, there's nothing like face-to-face. But unfortunately, because of the circumstances and because of safety reasons, we need to go ahead and use different alternatives to educate. And I understand the concept of, you know, we come back from summer, takes a little time to get warmed up and we forget things. But now we're dealing really not face-to-face since mid-March of last year. There's going to be a lot of catch-up to do. So you're implementing something to help out, plan with that catch-up so we can go back. I know it's going to take time.
Right.
And the main deal is for us to get our teachers back and our students back into school. But we're not going to do that until it's safe to do so. Priority is always safety. And so could you give me a little bit more detail on what your plan comes up with as far as meeting those goals to catch up the students?
Right. And you're right, there is nothing like face-to-face instruction. The teacher interacting with the students interacting with their friends in class. There's nothing like it. The teacher face-to-face instruction is significant, very, very significant. And the students have not had that for a year.
Yes, sir.
Most of them. So all research indicates that there is going to be a significant learning loss, the summer slide, when we don't have the pandemic. So what I want to do, and I am going to do sooner rather than later, is creating a task force to address those needs. The pandemic is going to go away, and our students are going to come back, and some of the students are going to be further behind than others, but they're all going to be behind to some degree.
Yes, sir.
And we need to have a team of teachers and educators, parents, principals, teachers, central office, staffers, and to create this task force to study how is it that we're going to, what strategies are we going to use to make sure that we can address those learning needs that those students are going to have. We probably going to have a task force for the elementary level, middle, and high school. They have different needs. And the students individually have different needs. Some have experienced, according to all research, a greater learning loss than others. And we have to prepare for that using assessments, teacher-made assessment, state assessments, benchmarks. We're going to we're going to study the benchmark, and we're going to come up with a plan, with a strategy to help these students catch up with the learning loss that they've experienced. And they all have. They all have experienced learning loss to some degree.
You know, and it can be so discouraging, not only for the student, but also for the parents and even the teachers. Are you going to have something in place where there can be a support group? Because these children are dealing not only with a slide back in education, but they're also dealing with issues of coming back from being isolated for such a long time. And there is some other issues, I'm sure, that have to be addressed. And I'm sure that you will meet those needs, because children need a secure, safe environment. And if you make them feel secure and safe, then they'll be able to grow and learn. But a lot of these children are coming back with wondering, is this going to happen again? I'm sure there's going to be some counseling. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more than just education that we're going to go ahead and fulfill the needs of these children. It goes a little bit deeper than that. And we need support counselors, individuals to come out here and support and counsel not only the students, but the teachers and even the family members. It's a whole community coming back into some sort of normality. And I'm glad that you're implementing something like this to address those issues.
Sir, you have touched on a point that is significant. children are going to come to school. Some of them have lost their parents
Yeah.
to COVID-19. They've lost grandparents to COVID-19.
Yeah.
We've lost teachers to COVID-19. So absolutely, not only do we have to deal with the instructional loss, we also have to deal with the social emotional support, which is critical. And the board has indicated, the board as a body has indicated for us to look at hiring more counselors, more social workers.
Yes.
Because you're absolutely right. Students are going to come back to class, some of them having lost their parents, their grandparents, their friends.
Yes.
And same with the staff.
Yes.
Staff are going to come back to work. They've lost their husband, their spouse, their children, their parents. So absolutely, that is an area that is just as important as the instructional programs, because social emotional support is so important to our staff and especially to our students.
That's good to know. That's good to know, because well-rounded in all aspects. And it is a challenge, but we definitely have, I know we have the staff that can meet the challenges set before us, and definitely a superintendent that can take care and lead the charge. So they're challenging times, but I always see challenging times like this as an opportunity to succeed. I look at, you know what, they may be troubling. Maybe we'll never get the answers to the questions of why, but we need to move forward. And we need to move forward as a community, as a district, and this will one day pass, and we'll look back and see how far we've come and learn from our experience. But these are exciting times, challenging, but I know with faith, hope, and love, we can conquer all.
I think we will. We have the staff.
Yes.
We have the staff that will ensure that we move forward and do well for our school community. The other priority for us is we want to make sure that we keep attracting the highest quality teachers that we can attract.
Okay.
I know as a principal of a high school for almost 10 years, I know that the most important person, and now as a senior level administrator, the most important person that we have on our campuses, in our organization, is the teacher. And why? Why is the teacher so important to me as a superintendent, as an assistant superintendent, as a principal? Is that learning happens in the classroom.
True.
Therefore, based on that thought, do teachers make a difference? Absolutely. If the child goes into a math class with a high quality teacher for 187 days, is that high quality teacher going to make a difference? Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. They're going to make a difference. And the higher the quality of teaching staff that we have, the higher the quality of school district that we're going to have. I can almost guarantee you that every parent out there wants their children to be with the best teacher that is in that campus. And I think as a superintendent, as a board member, it is our duty to try to attract the best teachers that are out there. And so, that said, one of the priorities that I have is to make sure that the district, Edinburg School District, continues to have among the highest salaries for teachers, if not the highest salaries. That is a priority for me, that we continue to be very competitive in salaries when it comes to hiring teaching staff.
Well, there should be no reason why Edinburg should not have the highest salaries out there. There really shouldn't be any reason. We are the largest school district in Hidalgo County. You know, we run a very efficient school district, and that's encouraging to hear. I'm glad that I too would love to go ahead and be able to offer our teachers the highest salaries out there, in the whole valley, this county, the next county. That would definitely attract quality individuals and teachers that come out here. And so that's what you're going to be looking into.
Yes,
I guess
we are.
us as a board, we have a job to do to find the money to make that happen.
Yes,
So-
sir. And you're right. We are the largest school district in terms of enrollment in Hidalgo. In the valley, only Brownsville is bigger than we are.
Yes.
And before the pandemic, we were still growing. We were growing 600, about 600 students more per year. So the growth was there pre-pandemic. We have efficient business office. There should be no reason why we don't have among the highest paying teacher salaries in the area. I strongly believe in that. And again, let me emphasize this again. The teachers are going to make us or break us. The better teacher that we have, the higher the quality of district that we're going to be.
Well, good. That's encouraging. Well, good. So what else you got on your list?
Another priority for us is making sure that quality instruction is happening district-wide.
Explain that to me. You mean, be more specific when you say quality.
Well, let me say this. Let's say that we have a campus on the southwest part of town, campuses.
Okay.
And you happen to live in that part of town. And in that part of town, you send your child to school and you have all these programs. Let's say you have an elementary age child, and that school, they have rigorous instructional programs in the classroom. After school, they have, let's say on Monday, they have UIO math. Let's say on Tuesday, they have Cowboys Club, the Christian club. Let's say on Wednesday, they have piano. Let's say on Thursday, they have competitive chess. And let's say that because you moved to another part of town for whatever reasons, you bought a bigger home, you were forced to move out, whatever reasons. You would expect as a parent that you go to the neighborhood school, let's say on the northeast side of town, you would expect the same programs, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you go in there and you want for your child to have after school, or first of all, in school, quality, rigorous instructional programs like you had at your previous school. Now, after school, you would expect to have all these different programs like you had at the previous school. Sometimes, as a school district, I feel that all our campuses need to offer high quality programs. There's really no, if we have a high quality program at the southwest part of town, we should have high quality programs in the northeast part of town, or the southeast part of town, or the northwest part of town. I feel that all our schools should have high quality programs.
So, sir, what you're telling me then is that no matter which elementary school you go to, we have 31, correct?
Correct.
Okay. No matter which elementary school you go to, no matter your social situation, your economical situation, your geographical situation, you can ensure that they all, in all the elementaries, that they provide the same programs as certain individuals that are providing those programs right now. That's what you're saying to me, right?
I am, sir. I'm saying that we're going to have the same high quality programming at all 31 elementary schools. Let's talk a little bit about the high schools.
Okay.
If we have high quality AP programs at one of the high schools, I would expect that all 4 high schools to have the same type of AP programs. We're one school district.
Yes.
If we have a robust dual enrollment program at one of the high schools, I would expect that we have a robust dual enrollment program at all 4 high schools. If we have a robust AP program at one of the high schools, we would expect to have a robust AP program at all 4 high schools,
Yes, sir.
and so on. And that's what I expect, and and that's what I am going to expect from our schools, to make sure that the high quality programs are offered at all the elementary, at all the middle, and all the high
Good.
schools.
So you don't have to live in a certain part of town to get all the French benefits that Edinburg has to offer.
No.
Okay. Good.
My goal is that whether you live in the north part of town or the south part of town, your school where you send your children to, they're going to have the same type of experience, educational experience, quality experience at any of the schools that we have in our school
Good.
district.
That's the way it should be.
That's the way it should. I believe so.
Yes, sir. Okay, good. That's good to know.
The other thing, sir, that is very important to me, as I was saying in the introduction, I am a high school principal. I was spent 10 years as a principal at Edinburg North, and one of the things that I've experienced is all the different type of quality programs that are offered at the high school. For example, at the high school we have the pre-AP programs that are the equivalent to the GT pool at the elementary.
Okay.
And then we also have the AP program at the high school, that are equivalent to the GT program at the elementary.
All right.
And at the high school, we also have the dual enrollment. That is where the student either goes to STC to take a class for STC college credit, or the professor comes to the high school for high school credit and college credit, STC college credit. We also have concurrent enrollment credit, where the student part of the day is at UTRGV taking, let's say, a college algebra class for college credit. We also have for a teacher one of our teachers has a master's degree and teaches a class for dual enrollment credit, where the student gets a credit for South Texas College credit and a high school credit. So we have different levels of rigor.
Well, you know,
And let me review that.
Okay.
Let me go to the high school. You have pre-AP, you have dual enrollment, college credit and high school credit.
Okay.
You have concurrent enrollment, college credit. Let's say you're taking classes at UTRGV while at the high school. So you're earning a high school diploma while at the same time trying to get ahead at the college level. And then you have AP. And then you have AP as far as rigor. From my experience as a principal, you have the pre-AP, dual enrollment, concurrent enrollment, and AP. Terms of rigor, levels of rigor. I think that there's even a higher level of rigor at the high school, and that is UIL.
okay. I've always heard of UIL, and I have a certain whenever I think of UIL, I think of sports, you know. But you're saying now UIL at this level of education, where do you see taking us to the next level with UIL?
Well, before I go there, if we have had, let's say, 1,000 national Hispanic scholars in Edinburg in our 4 high schools, and we're there.
Okay.
For the last 10 years, we may be approaching 1,000 Hispanic scholars. These are students that do really, really well in the college entrance exams, the ACT and the SAT. When the children do really well there, they're merit scholars, and when they're students that are Hispanic, do really well on the ACT or SAT, the colleges classify them as National Hispanic Scholars. If we've had 1,000 in the last 10 years, I would say, based on my experience, 99% of those Hispanic scholars, of those 1,000 Hispanic scholars, all of them participated in UIL. UIL is to me, the highest level of rigor that is offered in the state of Texas. I am fond of saying that UIL is the best kept secret in education in Texas. And I've seen it. I've seen it in action. And one of my priorities is to make sure that we have robust UIL programs at the elementary, at the middle, and at the high. Why is that important to me? Because I'm gonna use this as an example. If you want your child to excel in athletics, let's say basketball, those children that start playing basketball, organized basketball, as kindergartners, second graders, they play year-round basketball with the Parks and Rec programs, with travel league programs. They start them small. By the time they get to the high school, they're really, really good. It's the same thing with UIL. If we start them at the elementary level, practicing with UIL, and then we move on to the elementary, and then we move on to the high school, the students excel, and they are extremely well prepared as far as the academics, and they're going to be prepared to do the most rigorous work that the colleges have to offer. That's what I have seen. Now, what do I mean by robust? I mean numbers. Numbers. If we're offering UIL math at the elementary, either mathematics or number sense, and we do offer it, I would expect that three children compete typically on a UIL meet on Saturdays. I would expect the math team to be 12 students, because I believe that practicing UIL practice is more important than the UIL competition itself, where 3 students participate in the competition. The practice, where you have 10 or 12 students practicing with a teacher, high-level mathematics, in this case mathematics, to me, is greater than the competition itself. So robust, I mean having UIL teams of 100 plus at every elementary.
Wow, 100 plus.
100 plus at the middle. And at the high school, having UIL teams that are freshmen of 100 plus, and then a varsity UIL team of another almost 100 at each of the high schools. That's what I mean by UIL. The more students that are involved, the better it is going to be for that particular school, and the better it is, the better prepared that our students are going to be in the end. And the more, the merrier.
So basically, that's why you want to put all these programs in all the elementaries, because I'm a firm believer of investing in the front end. You know,
Yes.
You always invest in the front end, and it pays off in the back end. So you assuring that these quality programs are made available to all our elementaries, well, that's investing in the front end. Eventually, it'll trickle up. All our middle schools will have that quality of individual, of time and education in the middle school, and then that will translate to the high school. So basically, you want to start on the elementary level. I mean, we can do it all through the whole thing, but to secure a good foundation, you need to start in the elementary level. So assuring that will guarantee the middle and the high school. It'll trickle up. So that's a good plan.
When it comes to some of these ideas that we're talking about require an entire segment just to themselves, and this is one of them.
Okay.
So at a future superintendent perspective, I intend to bring UIL back and bring some of the students that have been through these programs so they can have a testimonial for our students to see.
Good.
This is one of these programs that requires an entire segment, because there's a lot to talk about UIL. And you know what? Most parents don't know what UIL is.
Yep.
They don't really understand what it is, and they don't understand the quality of programming that UIL brings to the table. And I want to make the parents aware of these UIL programs.
So it's going to take a lot of outreach, a lot of advertising, a lot of the inviting the parents over. It's going to take a lot of legwork to let the information out that this is available.
Yes, it is, sir. And again, UIL is super important to me because I've seen it.
Very good.
And I've seen how these programs affect the students in a good way. So one of the things that I want to do to make it work and to be fair, we pay UL high school UL coaches a certain amount, and then we pay the middle school UIL coaches a little bit less, and then we pay the elementary UIL coaches even less. What I want to do, what I propose to do, is to pay all the UIL coaches the same. Pay the middle school UIL coaches the same as we pay the high school, pay the elementary UIL coaches the same as we pay the high school UIL coaches.
They're just as important.
You're saying start at the front end?
Yes.
It's just as important as the high school student.
Very good.
As far as UIL. And of course, the expectations are going to be there. We're going to pay you more, but we have greater expectations from the elementary to the middle to the high.
Okay.
Another priority, Mr. Farias, for me is you've heard that we can't go it alone. We have to have partners. Teaching children is more than just the schools. It's the parents, it's other agencies. I want to enhance the relationships that we have with our partners in education. The big ones are UTRGV. I mean, they're in our back door.
Yep.
We need to take advantage of that.
Yes.
They're there.
Yep.
It's a high quality
Literally,
institution.
they're there.
They are there. So
They're there.
we feel that we need to take advantage of that. They have a medical school. They have high quality nursing programs. They have high quality engineering programs. They have high quality programs. I think that we need to take advantage of that. I feel that as a district, 4 high schools that graduates 2,000 students or 1,500 students a year per high school. That we have these schools that these schools can take advantage of these schools. I feel that we are, when it comes to the colleges, UTRGV, STC, Texas A&M, we are the 800-pound gorilla.
Mm-hmm.
They need us more than we need them.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to enhance that partnership. As an organization with these colleges, I want to get into partnership with them. What is it that we need to do as a school district so that if our students meet a certain criteria, what do our students need to meet to get into the medical school? Can we come up with a partnership? You tell us what kind of student you're looking for, and we're going to prepare those students to meet those expectations so that our students can get to that precious seat at the medical school. That is something that I want to explore. Not only the medical school, they have nursing programs there. High quality nursing programs, very competitive to get in. I'm not saying give us a free pass. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying let's come up with some kind of an agreement where if our students meet the criteria that you're looking for in a student, let her give a chance to our students. Have a seat for at one of those classrooms to train nurses, to train doctors, or to become engineers. They have high quality engineering programs there at the university, and I want our students to have a good shot at getting in. And through partnership with UTRGV, I feel that you tell us, UTRGV, what is it you want from our students to be able to get into your programs, and we will make it happen for our students. See, if students get into these programs, let's say a student gets into the nursing program, and this student have been raised in a family where the socioeconomics is considered poverty, living in poverty conditions based on socioeconomics. If we are able to get some of these students into these programs, that is how we interrupt the generational poverty, I feel.
We break the cycle.
We break the cycle of poverty. If we can get these students into engineering schools, nursing schools, medical school, we broke the cycle.
Good.
And then we also have high achieving students from well-to-do families also that want to get into these programs, and I think we need to make what we can as an organization, as a big organization, to do what we can to get our students into these programs. And not only UTRGV, you got STC, and they got high quality programs too, that train students to go right into the workforce. You got HVAC programs, where a technician that graduates from STC makes good money. In fact, I was trying to recruit one of the technicians that graduated from STC, HVAC technicians, to try to get a program going with us, but he was making too much money in the private industry to even consider us as a teacher. So even for STC, we need to develop partnerships so that those students that want to go that route, the trade route, welders, HVAC technicians, electricians, plumbers, these are high paying jobs.
Yes.
And some students just don't want to go to the college route, and I respect that. All my family went that route. I'm the only one that went the college route, but they went to the technical route, and they're doing well, and it pays well. You know they do.
Yes.
You have children
Well, yeah.
in that field.
My personal experience, I have two sons that went the form of higher education, and they're doing well. My other two sons, one of them is a welder at SpaceX, and he's doing really well. My other two kids going to college are saying, how much is he making?
Right,
And I said, be patient, be patient. And the other one is in real estate and doing really well. And whatever road the student chooses, we need to prepare them. And I would like to take it a step further, where our CTE programs can have an entrepreneur class, because these individuals will not just be workers. One day they'll be owners of their own companies. You may get a student that learns HVAC, and he can go out there or she can go out there on their own. And if they learn the trade, and if they're properly trained and prepared on how they could start their own business, their own company, and have workers underneath them, I mean, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. I'm a big supporter of entrepreneurs and going out there and doing their own business on whatever they do. They become tax-paying individuals and big supporters. And I'm glad that we give opportunities to the individual that chooses higher education or the individual that chooses a trade of some sort. I know also we can even take it a step further, working with Region 1. Region 1 has a lot of programs that can offer us, that can not only benefit our students, but our students' family.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm encouraged to know that you're going to reach out of our safety zone and go out and take advantage of all the outlets that we have, that we can bring in to make a stronger community, a stronger district, and to benefit us all as a whole, as a community. Because there we go back, laying the foundation. Sounds encouraging.
And I am. I'm gonna get out and talk to the leaders of this institution, UTRGV, Region 1. We've already started talking.
Good.
SDC, Texas A&M. I'm gonna reach out to them, and I want to create opportunities for our students, be it they go to the trade route or the higher education route. I do want to reach out and lay the road for our students, if they meet the criteria that they're looking for, to get into these programs, because I think it's one of the fastest ways to interrupt the generational poverty that is prevalent in our area.
Yes, sir.
And we have so many institutions, and they're there and they want to help.
Yes.
And Region 1, UTRGV, Texas A&M, STC, Head Start.
Yes.
The city of Edinburg, the county, Region 1, there's agencies that are ready to help. And we can't do it by ourselves. The parents cannot do it by themselves. But if we spread out and get the expertise, all the expertise that is around us, that bodes well for us and for our students, I think.
Good. Utilize all our resources.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Real good. What else you got?
Another priority, sir, and you talked about it a little bit, is investing in the front end.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that I want to do as a superintendent is to make sure and emphasize the pre-K 3, pre-K 4, first kindergarten, first grade, and second. That's early childhood. It's one of the areas that I want to emphasize to ascertain that our children can read by the time they get to third, and that to ascertain that our children can do math, basic math, by the time they get to third. The research says that the earlier that students start reading, the likelihood that they're going to succeed at the higher grade is higher.
Okay.
So I want to hire a director for early childhood education to provide focus for these programs, to provide guidance to our teachers, to our principals, so that we develop high quality early childhood programs. Because, and you mentioned it, the investment up front will reap benefits later. I firmly believe
Yes, sir.
in that. And that is also a segment that we probably can spend an entire 30 minutes superintendent's perspective. Early childhood education is big, it's important. It's super important for the parents, it's important for us, it's important for you as a board member. And it's something that I'm going to emphasize. Because the sooner that our students start reading, as research says, the better it is for the better the chances that that student is going to succeed in the long run.
Good.
Be it high school graduation, college degree attainment. Another priority for us is House Bill 3. 2019, the Texas legislature came up with House Bill 3. One of the features that came out of House Bill 3 is what they call the teacher incentive allotment. This is House Bill 3 is considered by educators, considered by teachers as transformative when it comes to public education in Texas.
Okay.
Because it invests a lot of money into the education system. One of the investments that House Bill 3 has emphasized is to pay high quality teachers stipends, good stipends, to make it realistic that in Texas, if you're a high quality teacher, you can earn up to $100,000.
Hold on. $100,000. Explain that to us. I mean, because I don't know too many teachers making $100,000.
No, there are not too many. But the House Bill 3 is going to make it a reality through a program called the Teacher Incentive Allotment.
Okay.
It's a strategy that the legislature is going to use to try to attract and keep high quality teachers in Texas. And the Teacher Incentive Allotment is a program where if the teacher is recognized as a master teacher, they get a certain stipend. If the teacher is recognized as an exemplary teacher, they get a certain stipend. And if the teacher is recognized as a recognized teacher, they get a certain stipend on top of their salary.
Okay, so
on top of their salary.
So what kind of stipend are we talking about? I mean, you just mentioned 3. So you want to go from the highest to the lowest, or the lowest?
Let me go from the highest.
Okay.
If based on a rubric developed by, based on a system developed by our district, principals, administrators, teachers, a committee, they develop a rubric, and using this rubric, they identify a teacher as exemplary, for example. Through the Teacher Incentive Allotment Program created by the Texas legislature, a teacher can earn up to $31,000 a year extra on top of their salary, depending on where you teach. The system is designed where if the teacher is teaching in a school that is high percentage of socioeconomically distressed students, the higher the stipend is going to be.
So you're telling me this teacher, if they meet the requirements, they'll get an additional $31,000 added to what they're already making right now.
Depending on the school that you teach. If every school, and this is another one, sir, that requires like 2 segments of the teacher's, of the superintendent's perspective to describe. But yes, if you teach at a campus that has high levels of socioeconomically distressed students, your stipend is going to be higher.
Wow.
If you're an exemplary teacher, you may get 28, you may get 30, you may get 27, depending on the numbers of students that are socioeconomically deprived. The higher the students that are socioeconomically deprived on your campus, the higher stipend.
Okay.
Anywhere from 32,000 to 21,000 if you're an exemplary teacher.
Excellent.
If you're a master teacher. If you're a master teacher, those are the levels. You could go from 32,000 to 22,000 depending on the campus.
Okay.
An exemplary teacher, the stipends range from 18,000 to 6,000 depending on the campus that you work. The higher the number of students that are deprived economically, the higher the stipend, on top of your normal salary.
Okay.
And then you have the stipends if you're approved. The ranges are from 3,000 to 9,000
Okay.
if you are designated as a recognized teacher. The state says that 33% of your teachers should fall into one of these categories
So wow, so a third of our teaching staff will be eligible.
for these stipends.
Okay, and so I'm sure the question everybody's going to ask is, or know, the teachers, when is that going to happen?
We're gonna put together a committee, Mr. Farias, to start on this application, and we're gonna finish this application. My goal as a superintendent is to finish this application by Christmas.
Excellent.
By Christmas, so that we can be ready to submit it to TEA for approval, and so that at the next school year we're eligible for stipends. Now, how long does the stipend stay?
Yeah, that was going to be the next question. Is it just a one-stop shot, or how long does it last?
If this coming year the teacher is rated, let's say a master teacher, by the school district, that designation is going to stay with the teacher for 5 years.
5 years.
5 years, and you get the stipend for 5 years.
Wow. That's a significant difference.
Just do the math.
Yeah.
If you're designated as a master teacher and you're at one of these schools that you get a stipend, let's say of $25,000, how much is that? You're a math guy?
It's $125,000.
$125,000 more.
Yes.
For those 5 years.
Yeah.
So, and
You could pay off your house.
right, and there's a lot of details. Yes, you could. There's a lot of details to this program, and that's for a later show.
Okay.
Soon, probably, because we're going to get going with this program. We're going to start the committee that's going to be looking at this to complete the application. That is a program that I want to come back to this table and talk in detail, because there's a lot of details and there's a lot of interactive maps that I want to show our teachers and our parents, so they know exactly if I teach at this particular elementary school or high school or middle school, if I'm a master teacher, how much am I going to get? I want to explain all of that and all the other details that come with this program to our teachers, and I think we need to bring it to the board.
Yes.
They need to become familiar
Yes.
with this program.
Yes. It'll be a definite motivator for individuals to try even harder and to meet
correct.
those criteria.
And that's what the state wants.
And that's going to reflect back to the kids in the quality of education.
Absolutely,
So that's
absolutely,
good.
man. The teachers make a difference.
Real good.
Teachers make a difference. You give the teachers the tools and to do well, and you'll be surprised. The
Very good.
teachers make a difference. And I'm excited. The state is saying we need quality teachers in Texas. And this is one way that they want to attract and keep the teachers through this teacher incentive program, which we're going to bring back at a later show in detail. So because it's exciting.
Real good. That's good to know.
The other program that another idea that I have, sir, that I think it's important is, and we've talked about it, is, and again, I'm going to say this: we are as good as our teachers. I know as a principal at Edinburg North, we became a very a very a recognized high school where I was at, recognized for the academic programs. And one of the reasons I attribute that to is that as a principal, I told the teachers, I let the teacher tell me what I needed to do to make sure that we had good instruction going on campus, be it administrative support, be it resources. What kind of resources do you need? How can we help you? Would it help if we relieve you from having to do lunch duty? What kind of staff development? Do you want to do institutes in the summer? What is it that you need so that you can be the best you can be in the classroom? And most of the ideas that we came up with there at North came out, I'm going to say all of them, they all came from the teachers. The teachers are super important. You know that. I know that. I have children in the system. When I send my children to school, the most important thing for me is that my children have good teachers.
Yes, sir.
And that's what all parents want.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I want as a superintendent. I want the teachers to be the best that they can be. What do you need from us? What do you need from the board? What do you need from the superintendent? What do you need from central office so that you can be the very best? Along those lines, sir, one of the initiatives, I want to have teacher advisory council. One for the elementary, another council for the middle, and another council for the high.
Okay.
Because they all have different needs. And I want to meet with it separately as a board, as a superintendent, as a central office, have meetings formally, informally, let's talk. How can we help you? What do you need from us? Do you need administrative support? What kind of training do you need? Do we need to go in this direction or that? The teachers have the best ideas. I've learned that as an educator, that we've worked with teachers, being a teacher, worked with teachers. I want to hear from them. How can we make you better? How can we make you happy? How can we make you stay with Edinburg? How can we attract teachers? And I think talking to them on a regular basis can only make us better as an organization, because it's going to open our eyes as to what is it that they need at the campus level, where it's happened. The rubber meets the road at the campus level.
Yeah, the boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. What do you need?
The ones that know, and are you going to go ahead and in that particular region, those specific needs, because we have 31 elementaries, and they're all spread out over 900 square miles of which is what we cover, and some of the needs at one particular elementary may be totally different than the needs of another one. So you're talking about getting advisory groups for each individual school or as a collective group?
No, what I'm envisioning is have a collective group.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have time. I would have to meeting with the teachers all the time. But have a collective group of teachers representative of the entire district.
Okay.
One for the elementary, one for the middle, and one from the high. And what I envision is to have formal and informal meetings where we can talk like we're talking.
Okay.
Tell us, what do you need?
Good.
But I do want to make it a priority to reach out to the teachers and to hear them out. What do you need from us?
Good.
To be the best that you can be.
Good. Good. Yeah. Sometimes we can learn a lot by just listening and seeing what the needs are, and then from there go forward. And that's good that you're going to take time to hear from the teachers and to see what they really need at their particular level. And that's good. That's when are you going to start that committee? Or
I'm going to start that right away. We're in a pandemic. We can still meet virtually. My ideally would be to meet personally, like we're meeting.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. But we want to get going. Even if we meet virtually, I want to get started with that. It's not the ideal situation, just like it's not ideal for the children to be learning through the computer. But eventually, we're going to be meeting in person, formally in a setting like the boardroom, or informally at a luncheon, so that we can talk.
We're good.
Because, sir, I think you and I believe in, we are here to serve.
Yes, sir.
Not to be served.
That's
we are here to serve. What can we do to make it easier for our principals and our teachers? What can we do to bring the best out of the principals and our teachers through serving them.
Very good. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad, sir. You got one more?
Yeah, I got one more, sir, and the very last one. We've had our district vision and goals, our district vision, mission, and goals. They're about 10 years old.
Okay.
I think it's time that we, as a new superintendent, practically a new board, that we develop new vision and new goals. It's a different times. 10 years ago,
Oh, yes.
it's very different.
Yes.
Technology is different. Learning strategies are different. Colleges are offering different programs. There's new jobs out there that were not around 10 years ago. Our community is growing. I believe that we need to develop a new vision, a new mission, and new goals. And I think this is something that we need to get going with, and I think it's necessary to give us a new direction.
Good.
As far as the direction that we're going as a school district. I mean, all organizations have mission and goals.
Yes.
We're no different.
Yes, sir.
We need to have a mission and goals. Our mission and our goals are approaching 10 years. I think we need to look at that, revisit that, and what kind of direction do we want to take our district with coming out of the pandemic, with the technology that is around that wasn't around 10 years ago, with the college offerings that are being offered now that weren't around 10 years ago. There are a myriad of reasons as why we need to develop a new mission and goal.
Well, 10 years ago, we only had 3 high schools.
That's correct.
Things have changed.
Things have changed.
And technology has changed, and the opportunity and the way that we do things. And so that's good. I'm glad. Who would you be getting together to go ahead and participate in this?
This would entail having a committee of teachers, parents, community,
Good.
our partners, colleges, the UTRGV, SDC, representation from there, the city, the county, the business people, entrepreneurs, as you say. It's a large committee of all kinds of different individuals that all offer valuable advice as to what kind of direction we need to be going.
Good.
So it's a committee of different individuals with different perspectives, different trainings, from all the way from parents to business people to teachers to administrators to college level staffers to the city of Edinburg to the county. All are different partners.
We're good. Well, we are one big community. We are, and eventually the district, the school, eventually they go on from us and they go into the community. So it's important that you involve everybody with that mission statement and with the vision. It's good that you're making yourself available to hear from input from other individuals. That's the way we grow. That's the way we grow. Well, this is really good. This is one of many conversations we're going to have, and I look forward to doing more of these with you. And you sound like you have a big list ahead of you.
Yes,
and,
sir.
You have the support of the board, and whatever we can help you to accomplish your goals, we're definitely here to support you.
Thank you, sir.
You know, basically, our job is to select the superintendent, and then the superintendent's job is to run the district.
Yes, sir.
And that's the way we're going to do it. You run the district.
Absolutely.
And whatever we can do to help you.
I'd like to say this before we close. We mentioned 10 priorities. I'd like to emphasize this. Every one of those 10 priorities can probably have a segment, a superintendent's perspective segment, each to themselves.
Real good.
They're all have a lot of detail. We gave a summary of each of the 10, but you're right. It requires multiple partners to do the quality work that is required to get our students what they deserve. And that's the highest quality education that we can provide to them. And it's more than just us. It's
Okay.
partnerships with as many people as we can get to help us with that mission, including the parents.
Real good. Well, it's your show. You select which one you want to go into detail in the future, and and it's been good.
Thank you.
Been good.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you for joining us in the Superintendent's Perspective. Stay healthy and stay safe.